Good afternoon. How are you all doing? How's everybody? Friday afternoon. Short session. Time for a beer. Just closed out Euro Yen from Friday. 150 ADR. So that's all done. Set the line off. How is everybody? Afternoon, Peter, Ian, John, Jerry, Baggy, Martin, Virginia. How are we doing? Hoping for some late Friday dollar strength to close the week. That would be very nice. Afternoon, Barrington, Burke. Yeah, would be good. I haven't managed to close out anything today, I don't think, apart from drawdown control. Just Euro Yen. Everything else is drawdown control so far today and yesterday and the day before, pretty much. Grindy, waiting for payday. US dollar strength. So might be able to pull back today into profit, but we'll see. So in fact, I probably will actually, because I can bank about 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I can bank about 2.5 grand at the moment. But I'm going to leave it running for the minute just to see what happens this afternoon. So I could easily put a 2% day in today, but I just want to see what happens with this US dollar this afternoon. So we've rallied, obviously, Euro's rallied dramatically. So I'm out of that Euro Yen. If we look at all the yen pairs, they're all pushing up nicely at the moment. New Zealand yen, I got out way too early. Just entered a sell on that one yesterday. But yeah, so we've got a lot of weakness coming through in the yen, which would indicate potentially US dollar strength coming through. But the US dollar's kind of stalled a little bit. It's tried it. It kind of kick-started this morning, and it has got me like Euro Swiss, US dollar Swiss, for example. We got a reversal alert on the hourly. So we are going the right way, but it's not particularly what I would call strong. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, it's all going in the right direction. If we can get a decent rally during New York, i.e. an index drop at the open, we got a good chance of getting maybe half an ADR, 3/4 of an ADR out this afternoon, which will take all this back into profit, and I'll be able to bank a load, but not sure. There's no news this morning at all. So the market's just been rallying and doing its thing. The only thing we've got to move the market this afternoon is University of Michigan at 3 o'clock, which is notoriously undecisive. Sometimes we get a move off of UOM. Other times it doesn't do, literally it doesn't move. So you can never tell. It's more moved by the market. So the market decides whether or not it fancies dumping a load of orders when the news comes out. So I don't think it's necessarily going to have much impact on the open. We should hopefully still get a decent open, but we'll see. But no news so far. ADRs, it's all yen based basically. So the whole day today is all focused on the yens. Euro Swiss is the only non-yen based ADR today. So Euro Swiss pushed up 125 ADR. That's back to break even at the moment. I've got 2 positions on this. One's an accidental one. Let me just make sure which one that is. I'm just going to put one of those to break even. Wrong one. Euro Swiss. Which is the one I took. The 1.1 would be the top one, wouldn't it? So I'm just going to break even that one because that's an accidental entry. But if it rallies, fine. I'll take it. In fact, best thing to do, in fact, what I should do really is bank that, shouldn't I? Let's bank it. So closing out 1 Euro Swiss just because it's an accidental trade and I don't want to have 2 on in case it does drop again, because obviously that's going to double my drawdown. So I'll just take that and stick it in the bank. Takes a bit of drawdown control away. So yeah, so Euro Swiss, obviously ADR hit to the upside. We're approaching 125 ADR on this. I would prefer to be long on the euro, but the Swiss franc obviously has got the potential to completely unwind back up to this accumulation, which is what I'm targeting. In fact, that's a bit eager. I'm not going to hold it there. Even if there's best will in the world, I'm not going to hold it there. That's too far. So just going to put the TPs for those three at that level. And target that propulsion gap, 225 ADR. Again, don't think we're going to hit that this afternoon. No reason why we should. DAX today was a nightmare, really. It broke to the A downside, but really didn't get... I mean, it was a decent opening range break, but from a risk-reward perspective today, it wasn't particularly rewarding. It's a bit disappointing, actually. I'm disappointed. So that was your pre-market and pretty much the 5-minute opening range and the 15-minute opening range. It was all pretty much that area. So you just about got 1.5 out of it if you managed to hold it through that pullback. So basically, I just took double stop out on it really today. Didn't make any money on the DAX. So we'll see how it goes this afternoon. How long we got? 2.5 minutes. So looking at the Dow, we're up at the highs at the moment. If you look at where we are with the Dow, we are at double top on previous day's high right now. So market is about to open at ADR at double top, which is a previous high from the month. Yeah. So we hit that, broke away from the monthly, double topped it 2 days ago. We've hit it now and it's an ADR hit. So this looks very much like a big dump today, but they may well drive it up, take all that liquidity for everybody that's shorted it so far, because a lot of people will be short already on this, and then they will dump it. So watch for a fake move out the highs today. It could just collapse from here. Obviously, it could just completely scream up and rally from here. You know, we've hit it, we bounced, we're having another go. It could just crack. Yeah. Who knows? But equally, we've got a good opportunity for a drop here. So we'll see where we go. S&P's out the highs, NASDAQ's out the highs. So this sky's the limit. I hate being up at the highs. When you're up at all-time highs like this, it's just, there's nowhere. You can't look left and go, that might return, that might turn there. It's just, it will go if it goes, and you never know where it's going. So downside, very easy, coming back down into here. Upside could go absolutely anywhere, all of them. We are extended on the RSI on the hourly on both of these. So pull back, because we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days up now, if you look on the daily. This is a big rally, 5 up days on these indices, 4 on the NASDAQ. Dow, 4 and a bit. Yeah, so it's all due a pullback and a rally, a turnover. So it is actually starting to drop at before the open, look. Just about to get a reversal alert on it, look, on the 5-minute chart. So we will watch this, see where this goes. We got 10 seconds to the open. Big rally to the upside on the NASDAQ. Big rally to the upside, well, starting to rally on the S&P, and the Dow is short. Let's see where we go. Markets open. So NASDAQ's going long. Dow's thinking about a short. Afternoon, Nicholas, Nada, Stefan, JC, Monkey. The blender is in full swing. Brian's getting killed on Euro US dollar. Afternoon, Steve. Afternoon, Michael, John, Astro. Euro US dollar. Yep, proper blender today. I've just done a bit of drawdown control this morning on that as well. Well, the EA has, I haven't. But yeah, proper whipsaw today. Again, no news day. Dow's coming down, very nice. Dare I add another? EuroCAD ADR weekly range hit on the EuroCAD. End of the week. Paying attention to that. Dare I add another? This is a double top. This is just going to go today. Okay, it's pulling back a little bit. So I'm going to add on a break south. So let's see if we get this double top. It's pulling back at the minute. XRupdate.news, afternoon. Afternoon, Amy. Couldn't enter the US 100 long. No. This version of the EA hasn't taken any trades, as you can see on the pre-markets, because too close. It's basically, we were trading at the high on the candle, so very hard to get those on. This is why this version of the EA, it doesn't take these trades, because you'll find it very hard to get a trade on at the open on the pre-market when it's trading right at that high, because when the market opens, by the time the EA's got the orders in, you've missed it. You have to place them beforehand, really. Okay, the Dow is pushed to the downside, and markets pushed it back up again. So we've got 2 minutes left, but certainly attempted a break to the downside. As you can see today, we've got two very large propulsion moves. So got these areas basically to come and retest to see if they want to continue these longs. If not, this is potentially that triple top bounce that we're seeing in play. So looks like it wants to go short. Technically, it's a beautiful short. However, we have got two nice big support zones there. That's the main one, where if we are going to try and break out those highs, if we do get down to that area, I'd expect the buyers to step in. But doesn't look like we're even going to get there at the minute. Okay, 1.5 minutes left. And we'll see where these opening ranges are. So best breaks today are probably going to be your 5-minute opening ranges. Holding. We will see. So I'm not going to go through the ADRs. They're pretty obvious. All the ADRs are CAD yens. All the ADRs are yens. So I'm confused on the yen at the minute as to whether or not we're rallying. This drop is very different on different instruments. So some of them look like, yeah, it does actually want to go for another leg. Some of them look like no chance. So tricky. So I've got buys on most of the ends at the moment, but I am hedged because I've got some shorts on as well. So take them as you wish today, basically. If you want to take these shorts, because they're all shorts, basically, get in on the ADRs. Aussie yen hasn't hit it. Euro yen has. Pound yen has. New Zealand yen hasn't, rather. Sorry, the Aussie and the New Zealand are the ones that haven't. Yeah, they're all potential shorts, but obviously we are really extended to the downside. So if you're going to take these short, you're going against the actual position trades you would take off of RSI. Okay, we have closed short on the Dow. So that's too big a range. So I'm not going to trade the NASDAQ, but the S&P 5-minute opening range and the Dow 5-minute opening ranges are there. Very big, the NASDAQ. So bit too big. That's over 20% of ADR there. So let's see where we go from these initial 5-minute candles. See if we can get continuations on them. Mumo, pre-5 NAS flew past my pending buys without triggering. Yep. I mean, you could trigger. I mean, again, there's no right or wrongs, is there? You could trigger it before 5 minutes. So you could run the EA on the 1-minute chart, and you could use the range from 1 minute before the open to 4 minutes before the open. But then you're going to miss that last minute's worth of candles. So there's never a right and wrong. There's just different. But yeah, you will. If the market moves that fast, you're going to miss breaks like that. But yeah, that was a beauty today. Look. Now, so your pre-market 5 today. It's 3R. Look, pre-market 15, 2 and a bit R. It's too quick. If it's that close, when there's what you kind of want is you want the price action toolkit open. Yeah. So that if basically 10 seconds before the open, if we're sitting right up at the highs there and it's been pushing and pushing and pushing, you're unlikely to get that trade on with the ORB EA. So you just basically want to go, screw it, hit the buy button on the price action toolkit and just get yourself into the trade. And then if it triggers double over here, you can quickly cancel the pending or rather close the order and let the ORB do it. But if the ORB misses it, you catch it with the price action toolkit. It's scalping. You got to be so fast. This is why order execution is so important in scalping. It's critical. This thing moves very, very, very fast at the open with a lot of volume. So you need to be on it very, very fast. Your broker needs to be on it very, very fast on your behalf. Not entered on the Dow yet. We're still inside the 5-minute ORB. I think we've triggered long on the S&P. Yeah, S&P. Oh, look at that. Even with the offset, look. Came up and grabbed me. But the NASDAQ's rallying, so I'd expect the S&P to go with it. Dow's undecided at the minute. Hopefully, we're not going to hang around for the UOM. Have we had any stocks? It's not earning fortnight, is it? Where are we? What's the date? 14th of July. Not missing earnings, am I? It's next. Kind of next week, but the week after. No, it is next week. Sorry, yeah, next week. Oh, yeah, we have got some earnings coming out. So we've had a few bits of earnings this morning, pre-market. Mainly healthcare, though. Not quite sure why the NASDAQ's rallying so hard. But next week, earnings fortnight starts. So we'll have a lot of volatility next week as we go into the earnings season again. So we'll find a lot of volatility at the open. A lot of money to be made at the open. Come on, Dow. Dow's still in the 5-minute ORB. Look. Okay, going long on the S&P. If you took the 5-minute NASDAQ, you're long as well. Dow, looks like it wants to go long as well, doesn't it? Do I cancel that order? This Dow breaks these highs. There's nothing to stop the Dow either, so we could well just run. Certainly undecided at the moment, isn't it? Afternoon, Evans. Earnings have started today. JP Morgan and BlackRock, yeah. So it's there's no tech stocks though. First tech is next Wednesday. And then last week of July is the big one. That's where everybody earnings. So next week it all kind of starts to pick up. Week after, multi ADR days on the indices. Trying really hard to get going on the S&P. Dow is totally stuck. Look. Feels a little bit like the DAX this morning. Maybe we might get a 1.5 ADR out of it or something, but we'll see. Right. While we're waiting for that lot to decide what the hell it wants to do today. So Euro Yen just got extended even further. No, sorry, it hasn't. 150. Oh, yeah, sorry, 150. We're already at 150. So Euro Yen's kind of the biggest extension today. If you look at the Euro Yen, it's kind of the most orderly yen pair at the moment. So there is potential for that one to pull back down again. I'm out of it now, so I don't care. But the Swiss yen has double topped today. So we were looking at this morning with a view to seeing whether or not we would just reject, and we haven't. We've slammed straight through it into a double top. So that's a beautiful ADR reversal this morning. You've got confluence up there. So your 5-minute reversal alert literally was at the monthly high, weekly high. So that's that double top reversal alert straight off of it, coming back down again. So the euros and the Swissies potentially could start a drop now. The others obviously are going to be, we're waiting to see what happens with the US dollar. And judging by the indices, it hasn't really got a clue today. I'm cancelling that Dow. I've just taken $40 out of the Dow, basically, because this thing... Why is it every time you hit the close button, it goes... Oh. So this candle's about to close, meaning we've got 1 minute, 27 seconds. So basically, that is your 15-minute range. We're not going anywhere. So your 5, 10, 15-minute range is literally not triggered. So when we do get this breakout of this area, there's a good chance we're going to get a little bit of power. I'm worried that they're going to hold this until 3 o'clock, until the University of Michigan, and then to make a move off of that. So just be a little careful. If you've got tight stops on this, you might get a double-ended stop out. But we'll see what happens. But it does look like it wants to go short now. But it really can't make its mind up. So I'm just going to place pending orders back again on that breakout. Same as here, basically. Wait and see where it goes. Right. RSIs. I went through every pair this morning in the live room, basically, because we had loads and loads and loads of ADR extensions. As you can see, the weeklies are massively extended. This week, we've had lots and lots of movement. The RSI dash basically is flat now on the hourlies because everything that we've seen extending over the last couple of days is starting to pull back. The RSIs on the 4-hour, we've got lots of extensions. So basically just went through every single pair, basically. And looking at every pair on the hourlies, they're all just starting profit take moves now. So not much point in going through every single pair this afternoon. It's Friday afternoon as well. So there's a good chance that we might just get a slight rotation during New York and not actually go anywhere. But if there's any pairs specifically you want to have a look at, let me know and I'll have a look at them. But everything is just in at the moment, waiting for the continuation on all of these moves. So all these big extensions, virtually everything has extended on RSI and or ADR this week. So everything has had an entry and we're just waiting for everything basically just to play out. So, you know, it's just business as usual, basically, on all of this, just waiting for these moves to kick in. All we need is an ADR or two and the whole lot's payday. But we really need that US dollar to kick in and the Canadian dollar. It just seems like it's got half the strength at the moment. So I'm kind of hoping University of Michigan starts to move things. But Euro odds in profit as well, 238. That's just coming off support. That whole area there. bounced, 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 broke. First retest. So that could be a resistance, but I'm targeting that propulsion gap up there. Wow, this Dow's really, really stuck. So triggered short on the Dow. But not really interested. Yeah, so basically just, everything that's extended basically is either pushed for a few days and is still extended, or it's already played out. Afternoon, David. So we'll see where we go, but we're waiting for some US strength. So we'll wait for the Michigan sentiment, and then we'll see where we go from there. Oil so far today, no continuation, which I'm not surprised about. We are on day, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, day 13 up, I think. We got one down day in there, haven't we? Oh, no, 2, 3, actually. So, but basically, as you can see, oil, we had to push up, hold, push, push. Sellers tried, didn't let them, pushed. Indecision, push, push, push. Today's the first day we've had some kind of reaction to the downside, which so far we haven't pushed back up again. So, however, this is just an inside bar, obviously. So, doesn't mean anything. We're out the highs with all the targets that we set to the upside from when we took the initial break have all been hit. So, oil basically just waiting for some kind of pullback on it, but it's just flagging, breaking, flagging, breaking, flagging, breaking at the moment. I was hoping it was going to continue because that's going to help the Canadian dollar rally, but it's not. So oil, virtually impossible to get into. You can't chase that. It's too late. You've missed it. And every single resistance it's hit so far has held. So very difficult to tell where we're going with this thing at the moment. That support resistance we looked at this morning still stands at ADR today, or 150 ADR. So that's the obvious spot we've had previous reactions at that you would say probably where we're going to go from. Other than that, it's this level here. So if we draw that level on, that's where we've kind of hit, but we broke it and now it's pulling back down. So I get the feeling we might just accumulate and flag and pop up into here. We'll see. But it's very difficult to buy something when it's that extended because you're going to want to breathe, isn't it? They're going to want to take profit on the move. Dow's going to be a nightmare today. Going to hedge on it. It's going to be one of those days. This week, I've just struggled this week. Really struggled to make money this week. It's just been whippy, whippy, whippy. We're waiting for the earnings. We need some big earnings to get some big movement. This Dow Jones now 20 minutes sideways. We've barely broken out of the initial 5-minute opening cash balance. It's just not moving. 10 minutes to news. No movement on the yen. Little bit of a pullback on the US. Not moving. Look, it's going to be one of those Fridays, isn't it? They're all getting drunk in the office. They're not doing any work. Afternoon, Crom. Afternoon, day trader. FX UK. How you doing? Right, let's wait and see what happens at the 3 o'clock news. So all we've got is UOM at 3, and that's it. We're done. So if we don't get a move off of that, I'm probably going to call it an afternoon because I don't think we're going to get any movement. They're all getting drunk in the office. It's like you can see me. It is Friday afternoon. They did a poll actually this morning on Good Morning Britain this morning, or GMTV, whatever it's called now. They did a poll of people that, you know, the Friday afternoon going out for drinks after work thing. They did a poll. Very few people do it now. In my day, when I was working in offices, it was like you look forward to Friday afternoons because you all slowed down. Even my old boss, when I used to work in recruitment years ago, she used to get beers out on Friday afternoon, about 3 o'clock. We used to start drinking and then go out afterwards, after the office. They don't do it anymore. Most of the polls said people don't basically want to go out with the people they work with. They're fed up seeing them at work. The last thing they want to do is go out for a drink with them. Depends where you work, I suppose. One of the advantages of working in trading, you don't work with anybody. If I want to go out for a drink with myself this afternoon, I will. I don't have to ask myself for permission either. Always good. Dow's literally not moving. Look, this hedges me. If it hedges me, I don't mind as long as it goes mental and puts an ADR in today. Just make your mind up. Dollar strength coming shortly, hopefully. We used to do that too, Beer Friday, yeah. Always good. Now I work at home, so the office is just a spare room. These days it's wine instead of beer. Yeah, me too. Or whiskey. In the NAS with 50% of ORB. Let's go. Yeah, NAS is moving. S&P is trying. Dow Jones is just dying. So all this movement we've had today here is all Globex buying on the pre-market earnings. So it may well be that we've done the move today. They did it pre-market. And there's nothing left. So looks like it's going to rally long, trying to break out to the upside. So looks like a hedge. I'm long futures. Haven't triggered long here though. Although it's thinking about it. Now I'm long. Hedged. I don't care which way it goes, as long as it picks one. So news is in 6 minutes. So here we go. Chivas Regal 13-year-old tequila cask. Never been a tequila man. Shots don't agree with me. And in tequila, the worm didn't agree with me either. Never been a fan. Each their own. They all do the same thing. Desired effect. This is going to be tricky today. If this breaks to the upside, I've got to get 150 ADR to make money today. So let's see. Oh, it's a whiskey, is it? A tequila cask whiskey. Oh, right, I see. Okay. Michigan doesn't move the markets much. No, not a lot. Well, it does. Michigan doesn't move the markets, but the markets move on news because they know that everybody is trying to get in on the news. So the markets will move because the banks execute their orders at the news event. Whether the news event has anything to do with market movement is irrelevant. They use the news to move the market because the liquidity is there. So sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's very difficult to tell, but there's nothing really about the University of Michigan. It's a sentiment index. It's basically a survey of 100 people, 500 people. Yeah, it's 500 consumers, which are asked about current and future economic conditions. So, what do you think about how it's going at the moment? You 500 people. As if the Fed is going to turn around and go, well, if those 500 people think we should raise interest rates, we will. Just, I've no idea why they make it red. But they do. I mean, I don't know. It's just hit and miss, really hit and miss. Right, so we're buying up the Dow into the highs at the moment. This seems very, very, very well timed to me. We're starting to move just 4 minutes before the news. I get the feeling we're just going to hit a load of limits there and see. But so far, 25 minutes basically, and we literally just stuck our head out the top and the bottom of that range. Sagar, loved Fridays at work. Manager used to get donuts for all the office. Then went to the pub. Today's generation go on Insta and TikTok to see their friends after work. Yeah. Yeah, this is it. It's different world. 10 years ago, totally different world. 15 years ago. I need someone to flip a coin for me. Dow, long or short? I'm both. That's the purpose of the opening range breakout, EA. I don't care which way it goes. Just go. One way or the other. I really don't care. But we'll see. It is a long at the moment. But that'll change in 2 minutes. Put it back inside the range, look. I'm getting ready to go short. On my futures account, I've got a long on with a stop under the low. And I've also got 2 orders placed there. So if this flies, I'm going to stop out, flip short. Because we're up at the highs here on the Dow. Specifically on the Dow, this is. The other indices look like they want to go long. But the Dow, I'm just not convinced it wants to go long today. Pound Swiss has just hit ADR. A little bit of movement going on. Not a massive amount. Pound Swiss ADR there. Pound should be along though. So yeah, I mean the Dow basically, we're up at that high, which is a triple top now. Look. So it is either going to, if it cracks that high, we're going to run, but we are at ADR. So where we're going to run to, don't know. If that is going to, if there's an iceberg sitting here and they can't get through it, we're going to fly down. That is if we're going to move, obviously. Like I said, it's Friday afternoon, so we might not even get a move. Okay, volatility is coming in. Let's see if we get a kick. Okay, gap down. So someone's just placed a big sell order. Triggered short, slipped massively short on the S&P, look. No. I haven't got a clue, is it? So, University of Michigan, 72 off of a 65, whatever that means. Bullish, but market looks like it wants to remain bullish, which is annoying because it's just slipped me into an S&P short, which I was long on. So I'm hedged on both of those. So I've got no option really this afternoon, just but hold these and see if I can scrape a break even out of it. Because I don't think we're going to get enough volume to go anywhere by the looks of things. we spent half an hour waiting for the news. The news has just kicked in and we're not going anywhere. So seems like it's the end of the day today. Did you ever hear about Darwin X0? Nope. What's that? Your trading strategies to test, track to capital growth, record 30 track record for $38 a month. Yeah, well, these are just Darwins, aren't they? So this is basically these are Darwins. So this is basically the same as the MQL5 signal service, if you like. So I've had Darwins before. All they are is they've renamed it Darwin X0. Why is it called Zero? You have to pay a monthly fee. I never paid a monthly fee to run my Darwins before. They're just trading accounts. Basically, you set them up as a Darwin, and if they perform well, investors put money into your Darwin. It's just a copy trading service. It's literally just a copy trading service. But Darwin X do invest in the Darwins themselves. So, but with the Darwins, you need the Darwins that I had running. You need, I think, it's a minimum of 3 to 6 months of track record live in a Darwin X account. To be able to attract investment, because they analyze the portfolio and they give the investors a risk profile on you. Because they don't like position trading at all. So Dow looks like it might flip short. This platform looks like it's frozen. Dow is actually down at the lows. About to stop out. I'm not. We're still inside the range. Okay, we're going short. Make your mind up. Give up. It's not going anywhere. For some reason, this platform's frozen on me as well. Oh. Oh, don't tell me I've just blown the account. Too much leverage, obviously, I reckon. Yeah. Right, well, that's blown. So whatever happens to those, blown the account, basically. Even this is the thing it gets me about hedge funds, prop firms, right? I'm hedged, right? But I've hit the daily drawdown limit because I've lost $600 this morning. And now that I'm hedged on essentially 4% risk. Gone. That was stupid. Gone. Never mind. That's the only trouble with hedging. You will potentially get into those situations. You've got to drop your risk down to 0.5% if you're going to use wider stops. Too much risk, unfortunately, on that one. Oh well. Day trader FX like a prop firm. Darwin X0 is not like, that's not a prop firm. That's basically put your strategy to the test, attract capital. So basically you pay $38 a month to trade, right? If you look good, investors will invest in you. That's basically it. That's all it is. So you're paying $38 a month to have a demo account to show investors what you can do. So it's kind of like a prop firm, but you'll get investors investing in you and they will pay you a commission, right? So let's flip this on its head, right? Instead of getting paid 75 to 90%, you'll get paid 5 to 10% of what you make. But if an investor decides to put 5 million into you, happy days. That's the way it works. So it's kind of a reverse prop firm, if you like. So, because you've got to pay an upfront fee as well. I wouldn't. Better off doing prop. You're going to earn a lot more money. A lot more money. Sorry, Lee, Evan. Oh, don't worry, Evans. It's one of about 5 or 6 I've blown this month. Don't worry. I do prop firm valuations all the time. I've always got multiple prop valuations on the go. Constantly blow them. The thing you got to understand is, right, I've just blown that account. If I'd have broken long on those today or short and it had gone 3R, I would have passed those accounts. That's the game. Yeah. You take 10, you pass 2 or 3. Out of those 2 or 3, you get funded, you get money. So that's just the game. Unfortunately, when the market does this, everybody fails because no one can pass this. You can't pass this. If the market is literally telling you to go short, you go short. It goes long, you stop out. You go long because it tells you to go long. It goes short, you stop out. If it does that, everybody fails. Everybody blows. You can't do anything about it. It's just what the market does. If it's your own money, it doesn't matter. If it's proper valuation, those rules, as I keep saying, the rules are tight. Not to stop you out and not to stop you trading as you want to. They're there to make you buy another evaluation. Their business model is selling evaluations. They're selling demo accounts for $500. That's the business. That's prop. You have to play their game. You have to buy their demo accounts. And then when you get hold of a funded account, you milk them for as much money as you can possibly get out of them. They don't care. They're making millions. If you get a payout for 10 grand from a prop firm account, they're like, whatever. Yes. We made 25,000 today. They don't care. That's the game. It's clever. Right, Dow is obviously gone short on the news and rejected those lows. So at the moment we are completely stuck. So all you can do today is look for a break out of this area, which is basically the range, and just try and get outside the range and hope it goes today. If it goes, brilliant. If it doesn't go, go and do something else. Anyone try back testing and tick data suite on a VPS? No, God no. Don't back test on a VPS. VPSs are half the power of any PC. They've never back test on a VPS. Terrible idea. Back test on your PC. I got a 12-core, a 14-core machine here. To buy a 14-core machine as a VPS is going to cost me £600-700 a month. Ridiculous amount of processing power to have on a VPS. You would never have anything like that. Always back test on your PC, on your machine. It's going to be way more powerful than any server will be. Interesting 5-minute candles on the NAS. So there's the news whipsaw going long again. It's the market today. If you're not on the NASDAQ long, you're dead. Just a whipsaw today. So just be clear. It's not worth it. You're just going to get chopped to pieces. What you'll end up doing is losing 100, losing 100, losing 100, losing 100. And you'll keep doing that until you've lost everything. And then you'll be gone. Just get out. I'm done for the day. What happened? Was it the difference between your hedge and exceeded daily drawdown of it? Yeah, basically you got 5% a day. I lost 1 and a bit this morning. No, less than that. I lost 0.8 this morning. Hedged for 4%. And I got slipped on the S&P. This is the thing. It's when you're high risk, if you're trading high risk like that, I'm risking 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%. That's 4% risk. So if I'm hedged, I've got 4% running in permanent drawdown. Yeah. If you get slipped, like I did on the S&P there, I didn't get 1% risk on. My risk was increased to 1 point something percent. Total of those 4 orders exceeds 5% with this morning's loss. Nothing you do. It's just, this is so tight. Prop firm rules are so unbelievably tight. Unless you're using tiny risk, in which case then obviously it takes a long time to get funded. I'm not interested in taking a long time to get funded. I need to be funded in weeks. I need constant income. You've got to constantly have funded accounts. It's the only way to do it. So you have to use high risk. If you use low risk, if I use low risk, 0.25%, 0.5% per entry, I'll last for weeks and weeks and weeks. But it's going to take weeks and weeks and weeks to get funded. You could do that, obviously, but it's just not the way I do it. It takes too long. Dollar looks like not affected by the news. No, it won't. Michigan doesn't really do a lot. We have had a bit of a spike on it, look. So it has spiked up on the Michigan, but not, not doing anything. I think we're going to find this afternoon is just not going to happen. The market's not been interested all day. Doesn't look like it's going to be interested this afternoon, does it? We might get a rally off at the end of the day, but I think most of the movement seems to have been done this week. So they'll be sitting on this lot until next week. Can this be connected with DOW? Can what be connected with DOW? I mean, oh, dollar looks like it's not affected by the news. Well, nothing's. I mean, not sure what you mean. Connected with the DOW. Nothing's moving. No, it's just not moving. Market's dead. Nothing to do with the dollar. It's nothing to do with the Dow. The market's just flat today. It's just a rotation. So it might move. There's no point in sitting here watching it. Basically, you put your orders in. If it decides it wants to go on a rally, it will go on a rally. If it doesn't, you're better off putting a pending order and a pending order with a stop and a stop, going to the pub for 3 hours, coming back and seeing if it's gone anywhere. Chances are you'll have lost 2R. But if it does decide, brilliant. But there's no point in watching this for signals. You can't get a signal when the market is literally doing that. There is no signal. It's just going sideways with big candles and big wicks. There's no signals anywhere to tell you which way the market is going. There's no buyers. There's no sellers. It's flat. Same here, look. It's been flat all day. Euro, US dollar. Pound, US dollar. Flat. Nothing's happening. Just, you'll get whipsawed to death, so just leave it. Or stick one on and go and do something else, as I say. So, no point in watching it today. So likelihood is going to hold on that drawdown for the weekend, which is fine. So I've got options today. So I can bank 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 2, 7, 2, 9. I can bank about 3%, which will take my drawdown back up to 9. So I might bank some this afternoon. Just looking at what opportunities I've got for banking. US dollar Swiss, obviously, I can take one off. US dollar yen, I can take one off. One of those is a duplicate anyway. So there's loads I can bank, but we are just starting moves. So I'm just a little bit reluctant to take all this off, because all it's going to do is give me a green day. I'd rather wait for a big green day next week. So I'm going to monitor it. If we get down, if we do get a continuation move for any reason later, this thing's just not moving, is it? So if it does decide in the next 2 or 3 hours to actually put in another half an ADR or something, I'll be sitting on somewhere between 3 to 4% drawdown, in which case then it's probably worth sticking a couple in the bank and a couple of percent and putting the drawback down back up to 6%. The thing you got to think is, with all of these positions you have on that are in profit, you can always add them back on. Yeah. So right now we're up there. If I take that off, I can add it, and it comes back down here. I can add it back on again and take it off again. So I can bank the profit. If it goes that way on Monday, that's fine. It's all going my way. If it goes that way on Monday, I'll add it back on and wait for it to go up again. So you can always bank everything you've got green, stick it in here, and it's realized profit then. Your drawdown is obviously going to go up, but then you just, you're still in the trade, you're still in the position, you're just making sure that you're putting some of this in the bank. And then if you want to do some drawdown control, you can do. But there's nothing there worth doing drawdown control on yet. The worst case scenario I've got at the moment is CAD Swiss at 1.4, which is, nothing. There's a position in profit on it as well. So there's nothing actually that I really want to say I need to bank some profit to do drawdown control, because it's all just sitting under 1%, isn't it? Because it's not going anywhere. One of those days. So anything between 5 to 10% drawdown is healthy. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's risk, isn't it? It's no different to having 5 or 10 trades on with stop losses that are in drawdown. It's the same thing. If you're risking 1%, you've got 10 trades on and they're all in drawdown, you're probably in 5% of drawdown, aren't you? What everybody does all the time, isn't it? Or you've lost X percent, like you've lost 3%, 4%, and you've got some in drawdown. It's just the same thing. It's just with position trading, it's multiple trades in a single position. So I don't really, what I concentrate on is this, individuals. Yeah. So pound CAD 1.24, CAD Swiss 1.47, anything under 1%, 1.5% is just a trade. I'm just in something waiting for a move to happen. Anything over a couple of percent is wrong and needs attention. So I'll deal with it. But at the moment, there's nothing scary anywhere. It's just we're just waiting for things to happen. Like CAD Swiss, yeah, just had a reversal alert off of a double bottom, which is pulling back for a retest. Potentially. Might go down, don't know, but that's potentially what we've got playing out. So, the CAD Swiss here sitting at 1.5% is just part of a move starting, isn't it? We're waiting for the move to play out. Looking at the Apex copy trader, feels like account suicide. Yeah. Quick way to lose all your accounts. I did that. I had that working, Brian. I did it. I didn't go to a seminar because it was virtual, but I went to one of their launch seminar for their copy trading. So basically, if you don't know, Apex, you can have as many accounts as you like. Same with all the other futures prop firms. You can open multiple futures prop firm accounts at the same time. You can be most prop firms. But they have this system where you can copy trades from one to the other. So you could open 10 50K accounts and all the trades from each of them are copied across all accounts. What does that do? You blow one, you blow them all. Good one, Apex. New way of making 10 times the profit out of somebody that could have just blown one account when they got it wrong. Nuts. Yeah. It's very funny. They come up with all these ideas, but people do it. Immediately when I looked at it, I was like, the idea behind prop, you want to diversify your risk. The best way to trade prop is to take 3 accounts with 3 different firms, yeah, or maybe 4 accounts is probably the best thing to do with 4 different firms. Basically, on day 1, go long on an instrument and short on an instrument with a 5% risk. Yeah. If that thing does not go range bound, you pass one of those evaluations. Repeat. Yeah. They don't know who's trading with what, do they? Unless they talk, I don't know, maybe they do. US dollar CAD ADR. But yeah, but never copy the same trades across multiple prop accounts, because when you start to get a losing run, you are multiplying your losses exponentially. Yes, you can multiply your wins exponentially as well. But, you know, why not just take a bigger account? Instead of taking a 25k account, take a $250,000 account and just have one account rather than taking 10 25k accounts. Doesn't make sense, does it? Copy trading. Prop. Seems pointless. So this US dollar is rallying. Well, US dollar CAD is rallying. So I would say the CAD is probably coming down. Yeah, Canadian dollar's weak. Oil's collapsing. There you go. So that's potentially the move on oil starting, the pullback. So that's why you're seeing the Canadian dollar weakness. So you're going to get a bit of US dollar CAD strength. We could get a good move on US dollar CAD this afternoon. Unlikely we're going to get anywhere near my TP, but push up is on the cards. So that, you got it. Right, I'm going to leave it there because this thing is just sideways. Look, markets are not moving. So the only thing, you might get some Forex movement, but no point in looking at anything this afternoon on indices. It's dead. So I should be back on Monday. I'll be in Telegram if you need me. If you've got the market reversal alert CA, obviously, and you're in positions, have a look at your P&L. If there's stuff to bank, you can bank it today, and then the EA will take the positions again on Monday if it does pull back down again. So always stick stuff in the bank if you can, especially over weekends. It's very unlikely we get big, strong pushes over the weekend and gaps. We don't really get gaps in FX anymore, but you know, you never know what's going to happen. There could be another war starting. Before you go, can you check GJ? I can. Oh, not on that one. Don't want to zoom in on that absolute bloodbath. So yeah, pound yen, we're up at 125 ADR. So you got propulsion targets to the upside still on this one. That's really this one here that we've just filled today, that propulsion gap. That is the support break. So this is potentially resistance, but we have got upside targets. The pound is strong and should continue to be strong because we are interest rate monsters at the moment. It's really what happens with this yen. At the moment, it's weak. So this is the kind of ultimate long at the minute, the pound against the yen and the Swiss franc against the yen, obviously, as we know. So, but that's hit the double top today. So at the moment, I'd be waiting a little bit. If we got up to there, I'd be looking for shorts. But right now, we are at ADR reversal. So if you're going to take an ADR reversal, they're scalp plays. So if you're going to take an ADR reversal, you're waiting for that 5-minute reversal alert. You have had one just. So you had one there. You had one off of ADR here as well today. So you've had an entry there and an entry there signal today. Still kind of pushing, but you know, it's not gone far, is it? Really. So yeah, good looking short, but you're only looking for a quarter of an ADR to a third of an ADR, half an ADR, maybe at a push. Euro Swiss 150 ADR, still pushing. We are getting some movement. Stock indices are dead, but FX is actually still going. Stranger things have happened. Another 3/4 of an ADR. You never know. Friday afternoon, I'd be very surprised, but who knows? This thing at the moment is just balmy, isn't it? So anyway, do any of the prop firms let you rest if you fail? What do you mean let you rest? If you fail, you've lost, yeah. You're paying for a demo account with a limit of 5% drawdown or 10% drawdown. Yeah, if you hit the limit, you've failed. They keep your money. John, you don't get the prop thing. Don't think, do you? Basically, you pay money, yeah? So my Forex funds, for example, right? You go to their evaluation, right? You give them $299. They give you a $50,000 account, right? And you have to trade for a minimum of 5 days to hit an 8% target, but you cannot go more than 2,500 into drawdown in a day or 6,000 into drawdown overall. Yeah. That's it. If you hit that, they keep your money. If you hit the target they set for you without doing that, they give you the 50K to trade with the same rules. If you're trading futures, oh, you meant rest. You meant reset. Oh, okay, fine. There's no reset here. No. In futures, you can reset. The futures market works totally differently. Don't do futures, John. Master CFDs first. Futures is infinitely more difficult and dangerous than CFDs. So you don't get a reset in CFDs. You get a reset in futures because futures only charge you a monthly fee for your account, which is about 10 times smaller. Not actually 10 times smaller, 5 times smaller. But yeah, as Diarma's just said, if you don't hit the target and you don't hit the max drawdowns by the time you get to the end of their time period, then some of them will let you reset for free. But I mean, my Forex funds has just removed the upside time limit, so there isn't a time limit anymore. So obviously, if there's no time limit, there's no resets. You either pass it or you fail it. You hit one or the other. That's the thing. You know, think of it. You got to think of it like a line with prop. They're giving you a line. They set a line up there to reach and a line down there to reach. If you hit that line, they give you the money. If you hit that line, they keep your money. So basically, it's a $299 gamble as to whether you hit that line or that line. That's prop. I hit this line today on that EA evaluation account that I was trading in here. So they get to keep my money. I've got others that I've hit the upside line and they give me that money. And then it's the same thing. I get given a funded account and I get given a line down here. I don't get given any lines up there. So when I get it to a certain point after trading a certain amount of days that they set, I can draw that out. Then I keep doing that until I hit that line. When I hit that line, I have to pay them again for another one. It's that simple. It's a game. Which, if you play it right, you can make money out of. But it's not easy. You're better off using your own money if you've got it. But it's obviously a hell of a lot more dangerous because you will run the risk of potentially losing all of your money. 90% of traders lose 90% of their funds in 90 days. Thanks for sharing your stories about funding accounts, Lee. They make a lot preacher. A lot preacher? Is there an autocorrect thing going on today where everyone's typing things and meaning something else? Or am I just getting confused because it's Friday afternoon? What's a lot preacher? A lot clearer, that should say. I'm just trying to think, what would autocorrect type instead of preacher? Clearer. A lot clearer. I just like to laugh, yeah. But yeah, basically, there's multiple ways to trade prop, but you know, you can play the long game. If you play the long game, you will survive. But the long game for me is not what I'm interested in. I've got money to trade with. I'm not interested in getting an amount to trade with. I'm interested in getting fast cash as quickly as I can. That's different. So you can try and trade it up, but just be aware that very, very few people keep a funded account for more than a month. Very few. It's hard work. I've just gone short on the Dow. I might regret this. Probably will. But I've just gone short on the Dow. I'm going to see if they're going to come and test this area for a long. But stop there. I'm not interested in doing this. We're either going or I'm out. That's it. That's the last trade of the day. That or that. We're going down there and I'm going to make a lot of money. Probably tell from my face I'm making a lot of money. Just to give you an example, the difference between CFDs and futures. I've just gone short on that. I'm sitting in $250 of profit on that little bit of candle. Yeah. Imagine what I'm going to be in down here. That's $250. That's why I say master this before you do futures. Futures is super high risk. It's like walking into a casino and bypassing all the tables and going straight up to the 50-pounder chip table and going, I'll have a stack, please. Yeah. That's $415. That candle right now. 490. EU has just prepared me a great FX smoothie. I'm trying to go, Brian. Stop talking. I'm only joking. Yeah. Oh, that's a nightmare today, isn't it? I'm going to draw this one on today because it's a good lesson. So that's the 4-hour Asian range. You've gone long, you've stopped out. You've gone short, you've stopped out. You've gone long, you've stopped out. You've gone short, you've stopped out. You're long in drawdown. Got to find a way to filter these days. Got to find a way to filter those days because those days just destroy we had 2 days of unbelievable profit. All gone. Out. 535. That's $535. Be done for the day. I had $180 loss though, so not it's not all mine, but about all you're going to get today. I haven't got the balls to hold it. It's too choppy. Oil, ADR, it's all starting to kick in now. When I say I'm going, right, so Canadian dollar will be rallying, that US dollar CAD will be flying. Oh, this is good. You know, you just get killed, chopped around, and then all of a sudden everything goes mental. So US dollar CAD is on its way to 125 ADR. Watch 150 ADR today for the bounce. I had too much lot size on that, unfortunately. Please explain overall drawdown. On what? Prop? That is your total you cannot lose. It's explained there, look. A trader must not lose more than 12% of their starting equity. So just to make the maths simple, on a 100K account, if your balance gets down to 88K, you fail. So that's kind of like a hard stop. Your daily is your daily starting drawdown is when whatever your balance is for the day at midnight, you can't go 5,000 lower than that. So if you started the day on 98K, for example, you can't go down. That's a really silly maths equation to do, isn't it? 5, 6, 7, 8. You can't go down to 93K or lower. It's 5,000 less than you started on. That's the one that gets everybody, the daily. That's the one that got me today. I'm nowhere near that on that account that I just lost. That got me. Hold it. So yeah, we've got stuff on the move. So there will be stuff available to bank today. I will probably close a load of this out. I'm going to watch it for the next hour, see where we go. Rejection on the NAS, taking a short. Look. Yeah. Dow's dropping nicely. Have a good weekend, everybody. Looking good. Looking for a push on Sunday, like last week, the one I missed. This week has been a waste instead of huge profit moves. It should have been. Tricky week this week. Very tricky week this week. Always is. It's news week. Yeah. We got loads of news this week. Two major interest rate announcements on the same day as an inflation announcement for the US dollar. It's always going to be a tricky one. We got CPI for the Canadian dollar next week and the unemployment figures. So next week is a lot quieter, a lot easier. Oh, bank holiday on Monday for Japan. US dollar might take advantage of that as well. So we might get a decent rally on Monday. Oh, Lagarde's actually going to speak for once. So yeah, that's the news next week. Not a lot, but CPI. It's all focused around Tuesday next week. So Monday we'll get some decent positioning on the US dollar. So hopefully this might actually be moving into that already, but we'll see. So there's your first propulsion done on that break to the downside. The reason that was so much, by the way, was because I took 2 contracts short instead of 1 on the futures. That's why that was $500 there, that candle. Yeah. Should have been about 250, but I took 2 contracts short because I got stopped out twice. So kind of like a martingale type thing. But 2 contracts short with half the stop I would have used normally. So I got in aggressive, but my risk was exactly the same. But makes it very hard to hold when all of a sudden it goes like $500, $350, $450. Yeah, the difference between that movement from there to there is worth over $100. So trying to hold a run like that down for a 2K win is very difficult on futures. That's what I say. It's not for the faint-hearted, this futures market. CFDs is much easier. Don't get into that. It's not martingale, Mac. I just explained that. I used twice the contracts with half the stop. Risk is exactly the same. Slight revenge trade, basically that was, but it worked. Just made $300. Got to put risk in if you want to get a reward. I did say martingale, yeah. So I've taken 2 stops on 1 contract in here. So I took 2 contracts on the next break. Yeah. But instead of putting my stop there, when I took the second contract, the stop was moved down to there. So my risk was exactly the same as if I'd taken 1 contract with that stop. So it's 2 contracts, which is twice my normal size, which you could class as martingale. But the risk had twice the chance of working out because we had a long range, which was probably going to get a break that time, wasn't it? Calculated risk. You don't have to, who said, no one says you've got to use the same contract size on every single trade. If you think a trade is better than another trade, why not increase the risk on it? If you've been stopped out twice because you're trying to get something on that you think is going to happen, and it still looks like it's going to happen, third time, it's like the knock on the door thing, yeah, with support or resistance. You hit a level again. If you knock on the door 3 times and pull back and have another run at that, 9 times out of 10, that's going to break because you've weakened the sellers. Yeah, this looked like it wanted to drop short. We had multiple attempts at it. My theory is if you're going to have another crack at that, you're probably going to get it. And it did. So that's why I doubled the risk on it, because the likelihood of that breaking was higher. Call it martingale if you want. I call it a calculated risk. And if it had failed, it would have failed. I would have lost another $300. But I didn't. I got a 1.5 R. See? 1.5 R. That's all you need. Make money. I know you're needling me. I like being needled. I don't. I'll be honest. The way I passed my evaluation and got up to 10K of payout was through over-leveraging and scalping gold. Yes, David. That is exactly how you do it. Perfect. You've got to over-leverage on prop because the odds are against you. That's what I'm saying. Martingale works fantastic on prop because martingale works really well over a short period of time. So you can get a massive win very quickly and easily doing that. Yeah. What I did there, yeah. If you ran a martingale style system on an ORB, right, and go long, stop out, short, twice as much, stop out, long, twice as much, stop out, short, twice as much, get the trade, that's a pass. You've just got to survive that many. That's the thing, you know, and this is why a lot of prop firms now don't allow martingale. Because we're playing the short-term game, and the short-term game, nothing wrong with over-leveraging it. Compounding. If you want to compound your account from 5K to 10K, no problem. Risk 5% on it, yeah? And there's a high probability you'll do it. But you won't be able to hold it. You will blow the account at some point. But we're playing prop here. So if I can martingale an account up, I wouldn't do martingale, but if you can over-leverage an account up, like that one today you just saw on E8 that went, yeah. If that had have broken, one of those hedges had have broken, let's have a look at it. So I had a hedge on the DAX and I had a hedge on the S&P from the open. Yeah. So I was hedged from there, yeah, somewhere around there, and I was hedged from there. I don't know where it is. I need to look at it. 430 there. So I was hedged from there, and I'm hedged from there. Yeah. So I'm short. I'm stopped out on the longs, and it's going. If it goes down to there, it's 4% gain with a 2% loss. So it's a 2% gain. This one paid out already. That's a 2% gain already. So if this comes down a little bit more, we'll call it a 4% gain on the day. Over-leveraged. But it's over-leveraged. That's my point. That's half of the target. The target is 8%. I've just done 4% on one session. Tomorrow or Monday, if I can replicate that, passed. But this is what I've been doing all the time. This is why you need to take lots of evaluations, but don't use the same strategy on every account on the same day, and because you will blow them all or pass them all. If you pass them all, it's fantastic, but it's going to cost you 10 times the amount to find out if you're going to have a lucky week or not. So you start them on different days. That E8 account I'd been running for a week or so, and it's just the P&L was doing that. Finally going up slightly, over-leveraged it, popped it. No problem. Start again. That's the game, isn't it? That's the game with prop. Like you just said, get yourself up to 10K on a funded account, you're going to pay for all of the evaluations you've ever lost. Then if you can do that again, payday. That's it. That's payday. I'm using the David Montoya strategy until I have the money to trade the Lee strategy. Exactly. Position trading is so much safer long term than scalping. Less hassle. Is just a nicer way to do it, but you need a big pot of cash. That's why the banks make so much money. Yeah, no one's risking anything in the banks. Yeah, if they stick 25 million on the table on a position and run it over a month, doesn't mean anything to a 25 quadrillion dollar organization, does it? Here, you know, the trading desks in the banks, you get given like this, I think it's something like 5 million, 10 million is the starting level for floor traders, or for FX, for the FX desks, for the speculative FX desks. It's something like 5 or 10 million is your starting balance. And if you prove yourself, they'll increase your portfolio. If you're starting off with 10 million, that's their risk. They don't care because it's such a tiny amount of the money that they've got available to them. So, you know, you go in with a 0.25% of 10 million, it's very easy to make 25 grand, isn't it? Yeah. Do that 10 times in the month and you've just bought yourself a brand new Ferrari. That's why they're all driving around in brand new Ferraris and have multi-million-pound houses in Canary Wharf. Because if you get given 10 million, it's very easy to make 100 grand. But if you haven't got 10 million, it's impossible. Hard work, isn't it? So if you can get the account built up by extracting it from prop, you'll do well. 125 US dollar CAD. Why is my drawdown going up? What's going the wrong way? CAD Swiss. Of course, I've got to buy on the CAD Swiss. Canadian dollar's getting really hammered. CAD Swiss monthly range hit. Okay. Need to do something about that one next week. So I'm going to take a little bit more drawdown control. Definitely going to bank some of this today. I'll figure it out later. And you do have to have funds to do prop as well. Yeah, you know, you've got to have the money there to actually buy the prop accounts. So your choices are, if you've got 5k starting balance to trade with, the decision is, do I try and compound that up to a bigger amount, or do I go and buy 20, 50k evaluations with that money over a period of time? You can put that straight into position trading, obviously, but your return on that is only going to be 500 to 750 a month. I bought two 20k accounts from my Forex funds, fairly cheap, $120, risk $400 or 2% per trade with a stop loss, and pass both. Perfect. You're risking 2% a trade, right? And you're only taking 2 trades a day. Yeah, you can last in that account for 3 days with every single trade failing. Yeah, because you've got a daily drawdown limit of 5%. So if you took 2 trades a day, you're going to lose 4% a day if they both failed. And you can do that for 3 days because you've got 12% overall drawdown. If you get 1.5 to 2 R on those, and every single trade you take works, you'll pass your evaluation in 3 days as well, with a 2% risk. Which is why all these prop firms have a 5-day limit, because they want you to string it out for at least 5 days, because they know that you're probably not going to get a 5-day lucky run. You're going to have losers in there, which means it comes down a bit, which makes you over leverage a bit more. But if you start over leveraged and you can get yourself up there fast, like I said, with the E8 accounts, there's no minimums. You can be done in a day. That's what I did with the DAX, didn't I? Did the DAX in the morning, 8% past stage 1, traded the NASDAQ in the afternoon, 8% past stage 2. By 6 o'clock that evening, I had 100k. Lucky. I was just lucky. But I happened to pick the right direction. We happened to get a trend day, passed. I happened to pick the right direction. We happened to get a trend day, passed. I'm not clever. I'm not an amazing trader. I happened to pick the right direction on the day we got a trend. That's all I did. That's it. That's all you do. You get lucky because you can't predict the future. You can't predict which direction it's going to go. So you get in. Yeah. I made that $500 odd there because it looked like it was going to break short. It did. That's why I made it. I didn't make it because I was cleverer. I've identified something that I've seen repeat many times, but if it hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have made it. It could have done that and could have done that. And I could have gone, oh my God, there goes $700 today. Other days it does. But anyway, I'm finding 3 accounts is good to manage. profit on one. Yeah, I only ever run more. I do run 4 sometimes, but 2 to 3 accounts is enough. You can't run more than that. You can't concentrate on more than that. And I don't trade all my accounts every day. If you've got one that's getting close to failing, you need to step back from it. Go and use another one. Same with the daily drawdown limit. If you run 3 evaluation accounts, right? That one I just did today was running high risk because I'm running it for over a week and I was just under break even on it after a week, so I was fed up with it. But if you run 3 accounts, if you take a couple of trades with high risk and you lose 4% of the account, for example, or you lose 3% of the account, you can immediately just go, right, screw that, I'm off to the next one, and trade the next one with the same risk. So you can in effect keep trading on 3 different accounts and have the worst day of your life, which would have made you a 10% loss, and none of them will blow. You can then go, right, reset tomorrow, get them back to where they were, and then the next day, hopefully make progress. But if you've just got one account, that account, you will over leverage, you will get cross with, you will blow because you've just got the one account. If you trade 3 accounts, you've got much more chance of succeeding because you're spreading the risk across them all. But that costs you 3 times the money to do it. But you'll have 3 times the chances of passing as well, which is, it's all odds. This whole industry is based on maths. It's odds. It's just mathematics. You spend 10K. You can make more than 10K by spending 10K. You're a profit. That's it. As simple as that, isn't it? Anyway, I'll leave it there. 10 to 4. Have a good weekend. I'll be back on Monday, 7:50, same time for the Frankfurt session. Hopefully we get some movement on the DAX Monday. And 2:20 Monday afternoon. We'll see what happens with these over the weekend. US dollar certainly seems to be doing better. The Swiss franc is strong as well. That's why that's tanking. Canadian dollar is weak. The Swiss franc is strong. That's why that's done that. Look. US dollar Swiss is coming down. US dollar CAD is going up. That tells you the CAD is weak and the Swiss franc is strong. CAD Swiss is the perfect storm, coming down twice as hard as everything else. So a lot of perfect storms at the moment. So yeah, have a good one. Happy laughing weekend. So yeah, I'll be back on Monday. We'll see where we go from there. Anything you need, let me know in Telegram. Otherwise, have a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday.